Hey teachers, in this brief tutorial, we're going to show you a workflow tip for your students to be successful with the portfolio project. Now you see on the screen here a sample portfolio. This is what the students' portfolios look like. And the great thing about this portfolio tool is it is a Google site, so it works really easily with a student's Google Drive. Let me show you real quick. So if I wanted to add some work to my 9th grade Read Effectively page, I could click here, click the Edit tab, and then I'd be able to move my cursor onto the screen, where I want the work to go. I can click Insert, I can click Drive, and then I can, let's say Document, for example. It will bring up the documents that are in my Google Drive. I click the document that I want, I click Select, then I click Save, and bam, just like that, the work from my drive is embedded easily into my portfolio. It's quick, it's easy, it's very efficient. However, there are a couple things that are going to be really important for students to stay organized, because unfortunately, if a student were to delete this work out of their drive, either intentionally or unintentionally, it would be removed from the site also. So it's going to be very important that our students are keeping their portfolio work in their drive forever. They're not deleting it even at the end of a school year or at the end of a unit. So let me show you a quick tip how to make this happen. So you see here's a Google Drive. It doesn't have very much in it. There are 2 pieces of work that I've added to this Google Drive that I'd like to make part of my portfolio. So here's what you should have your students do. The first thing students should do is to create a new folder in their Google Drive, and they should call this Portfolio. And they might even, write a little angry message at the end saying like do not delete. So this is going to be where students are going to keep a copy of all their portfolio work. Now, what it would be best practice to do would be to click this folder and then to click the share button at the top. In order for work to be visible to all people in the portfolio, it has to be public. It can't be just private on the student's account. So if the student were to click the advanced button here after they click share, and then see how this folder is default to private, only you can access, they can click the change button and then click on, anyone with the link can view. Now, whenever anything from this folder is added into their portfolio, if someone were to click on their portfolio, it would be visible to them in the embedded part of the site. Now, inside the portfolio folder, it might be smart to add another folder for each grade level. So I might add a folder and say, 9th grade. Now what I can easily do is I can easily take my work from my Google Drive and move it into the portfolio folders. So for example, if this was something I did in 9th grade that I wanted to keep as part of my portfolio, I could then just click it and move it and drop it into this folder, and I'm going to click OK. Now because the parent folder, Portfolio Do Not Delete, because I made that folder public and open to anyone with the link can view, all of the stuff inside of that folder is also going to have that same permission. So the students don't need to worry about opening every file up so that people can view it. It will automatically happen. Now, when I go into my portfolio, this work will be there forever as long as I don't delete that portfolio folder. I won't have to worry about losing this piece of work. I also won't have to worry about if this one particular piece of work is shared appropriately, because as long as it's in the portfolio folder, it will always be shared appropriately. Another thing that your students might want to do is a student might be interested in putting something in their portfolio folder, but also keeping it in like a subject folder. So let's say, for example, I had a folder in my drive and I had a folder for my science class. And this roller coaster proposal was in this science folder. Let's say the student wants to keep this PowerPoint in their science folder, but they also want to put it in their portfolio. Very simple. What they can do is they can click on the file, they can click on More Actions at the top here, and then they can click Make a Copy. It's going to make a copy of this proposal, and you see now I have this copy of roller coaster proposal. They can then take the copy, click it, and drag it to their portfolio folder. They'll have the original here, but they'll also have a copy in their portfolio folder. Now, if I wanted to put this into my portfolio, I could go to my portfolio. This would be an example of thinking critically and solving problems. So I could click the Edit Page button. I could go, put my cursor where I want it to go, click Insert, click Drive. I'm going to be looking for a presentation. It's going to pull up all of my presentations, and I can select it and put it into my portfolio. And that's it. So hopefully that gives you guys an idea around how students can have a very good organized workflow to make the portfolio successful. Once students make this portfolio folder one time, they won't have to do it again any other time. They'll just have to add, continue to add subject or grade level folders inside the portfolio folder as they move along.